one of the things that I have tried to do work on the continent, I've tried to do work in Nigeria specifically.
Okay.
And one of the challenges which I encountered was about integrity, about money.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a serious thing. I have one of my mentors, Nigerian. He in the last 5 years he has done a lot of work in Nigeria. He's building a big business in Nigeria. And last year, one of his employees, a former classmate of his, who he employed in his business, stole a large chunk of money. You know, so these things about integrity, see, we have a lot of young people who are talented. Okay, so I know if I go down there to find talents, I will find talents. But what I don't know is the talent. Is that person dedicated to flourish by his talent, or he's looking at to put his hand in the pocket of the company? I don't know.
That's it goes to the thing I expressed earlier around one outcome or vision but different strategies. When that's a problem that I've also like encountered, and for me these are fun challenges, if I'm being honest. That's
Okay.
just how my brain works. Then I say to myself, okay, there's two paths, like you've expressed. Like, is he dedicated to like really expressing his talent to the fullest extent?
Yeah.
Like, is he motivated by that self-realization? And then the other is this person just trying to get some money? And then the challenge that comes to me is both of those ideas are boring ones.
Okay.
What about this third path where you align incentives so perfectly that the person dismisses either of the other two and goes with this third thing, which is like, hey, this is a way for you to self-realize, and the money is just going to be just at the edge of where you can get it. That you just put your talent to grab it. And it's like there's almost an engineering, social, psychological engineering that has to take place in order to do this. And I think this is, the way like great leaders in the business world build great teams as well.
Yep.
The thing I always say is, incentive, like designing incentives is more important than anything you can do.
Designing incentives. Yes.
Yeah. Because the reason like this thing happens is because there's bad incentives.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true.
What's the incentive to in like Nigeria? I've spent some time in Nigeria. It will be hard to convince someone that, deep diving, forgetting money, forgetting what you're going to eat, and deep diving on your talent is the path forward. In a country like England, maybe that's rewarded more, but in Nigeria,
I'll correct that. I'll correct that. See, when I grew up in Nigeria, So, okay, I've been in this country this month. I've been here for 17 years this month. Okay. When I grew up in Nigeria and started my career in Nigeria, yes, we had issues, but the everyday person didn't have the level of integrity issues like we have today.
I've had the same.
Okay. I mean, when I grew up, if your mate hears that you stole 1 naira from your mommy's table. Oh my God. They will shame you. Yeah.
This is I think this is definitely a conversation.
I'll give you this. When I was about 10, there was this Choco Milo we buy, right? Okay. See, if I go to the shop behind my house to buy Choco Milo and I presented some coin or notes that the shop owner doesn't think I should have, she will ask me, who gave you to you? And she might take it, don't give me anything and tell me, I want to see your mommy. Yeah.
So what I would say to that is there's obviously a lot of facts we won't be able to cover.
Yeah, of course.
That could be around, glorification of money.
Yeah.
Normalization of lack of integrity, all of these things. The way I see these things now is like, and it's a helpful framing that I use to engage in it in a way that I feel is productive, which is, okay, I always see things as ideas, and the most powerful idea wins out over the long term.
Yeah.
And so the way I would look at situations like this is that there is
it wins out only if everybody agrees.
Yeah.
That idea is the thing. Okay.
I think the effectiveness of an idea is measured by the agreement of others as well.
Exactly.
Even if it's a bad idea. And it's like memes almost. And it's like, that's why religion's a very powerful one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so even in this thing, it's like, okay, there's something about integrity, even though it might not serve the person, lack of integrity, it's got some pieces that are compelling to it nowadays.
Yeah.
You could say that maybe it's music or the films we're watching to that are feeding into that idea. And so the thing is like, okay, we can't combat this with this thing as it evolved. We can't combat it with an unevolved version of the thing that we think is good. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, okay, how do we now create something that feeds it? And that's the challenge and the thing we're really trying to do at Kwanda as well. Is like, how do we make giving cool in the same way that individualism has so much propaganda towards it? Like, yo, nobody cares, work harder. Like, we're fighting against that meme. And it's like, okay, how do we like make this cool? Whether it's rappers or musicians start talking about, like, so it's like it's a fight ultimately.
Yeah.
And I think it's one that many might say we're losing. But sometimes you have to use some of the same tactics and tricks.
Yeah.
That are used to propagate bad ideas to also propagate.
Well,